Hi everybody, this is Belinda from Belinda's Book Nook, and I'm here for a 2022 Friday Reads. It's been a long time coming. I hope you guys are all well. I have had a wonderful December because I don't know if I'm going to do this. I'm not sure yet if I'm going to do this every year, but I gave myself permission to not have a TBR December. Initially I started, I was going to have one, and then I said, I don't want to put that expectation on myself because I feel like I'm just going to screw it up and I'm going to get mad that I didn't read the books. And December, from Thanksgiving to Christmas time, it's so chaotic because you're preparing for the holidays, you're shopping and work and all of those things. And I am finding that adding to that list, having a bunch of books to read, is not fun. And I don't want to take the joy out of the whole experience of reading books because I do really love reading books, but I don't want it to ever become a chore where I feel that I'm having to do something rather than wanting to do something. So I'm thinking and I'm toying. I don't know if any of you do that. I think once you get here on BookTube, the expectation is each month you're reading a certain amount of books, or you're reading books anyway. But I'm thinking of like an 11-month year where I will just not really, if I pick up one, I do. If I don't, I don't. I have no running TBR in that time. And I was thinking what I'll do this year, I'd like to do, and we'll see if I do that. By then I'll probably forgotten. But maybe what I'll do is I will take December to assess the year's reading. As opposed to now, I'm trying to go through kind of what I've read and think about what I really liked. And to, I could be able to put together videos in December because I always see people do that. They're like, my favorite reads in this year. And I'm like, well, the year's not over yet. But if I don't count December in terms of, creating a TBR that I have to finish, I could focus more on reflecting on the year's reading. So it also just gives you kind of that break, because I feel like, you go and go and go. I'm already ready for the, thinking of the next TBR mid-month each month. So I want to make sure I figure out how to have a little self-care in the middle of all that stuff, right? So having said that, January has been very laid back for me as well. I thought that I was going to come in like so strong because I've really done really great with December. But no, I think I was just, read if I read, if I'm not reading, or having really shorter sessions than I normally do. So let me tell you the things that I'm reading, because it's a Friday Reads. I'll tell you the things that I'm reading. I'm not sure if these are a TBR because we got a couple weeks left of the month. And I have something else to talk to you guys about that I'm going to be doing. So I don't know what will happen at the end of this month in terms of what I've read. But one of the books, I'll start off with this one. One of the things that I've noticed while looking through my numerous bookshelves is that I have a lot of books that are considered reference / self-help type books that I have heard of from various, sources, and I write it down, and then I either buy it or I take it to the library or what have you, or get it on the e-reader, and I don't really get to them. I'll read like a little bit, maybe a paragraph or two, and I just dump it. And I think because, again, I'm always putting more pressure on myself to read, the other kind of books, fiction, nonfiction, things like that. And I have all these, you slowly build a list of things you want to do in terms of your reading journey, and they get pushed to the side. And I don't think that, I know some people don't really, prescribe to them and think that they're kind of hokey or what have you, but I think to each its own. I do think that there's some place for them in my reading life. And so I'm going to try, as I'm also putting together my list of my goals for this year, is thinking about how I can place it so that I can have books like that in my reading journey. So having said that, this is one that I've had for a couple of years now. I don't think I wrote, I used to write the date inside the books, but I think I have it in my app. But this is one that I got a while back. It's called Atomic Habits, An Easy and Proven Way to Build Good Habits and Break Bad Ones by James Clear. It's very popular on BookTube. People talked about it a lot back in the day when it came out. And each year, this time of year, everybody talks about it again as well. It's just like this in January, everybody wants to go to the gym and everybody wants to create good habits, right? But I really like the way that he's approaching this. So I am about 70 pages in and actually really enjoying it. And he really breaks down what habits are, how to create better habits, and in an easy way. And I love the books. I love the way it's formatted because he brings across a bunch of points, and then he at the end does like a summary. And I've given myself permission to highlight. Oh, it happens to match my shirt. To highlight in the book, because it is a reference book, and I don't, I'm flagging it. I think that flag was to where it was, or that's the chapter summaries. I might flag each chapter summary, but I do have pages that I'm actually highlighting in here, and I find it very interesting. So I'm kind of hoping that I'll finish this month, just so that it can help me this year with trying to create some better habits for myself and figure out why some habits don't stick. And he does talk about that really well in here. So if you haven't read it, it might be good for you too. This one I showed you guys because I had bought it when I had heard about it coming out. I had pre-ordered it and I was super excited. And I've only gotten, let's see, I'm only on page 38. This is All Her Little Secrets by Wanda M. Morris. And this one, what you're gonna call this, like a murder mystery? I'm not sure if this is it's not, so far it doesn't seem to me like a cozy. So I'm not gonna call it that. But it's very interesting. It's this woman, Black woman, who has a past, and it flips back and forth between her childhood in Georgia, and it starts back in 1979, where she was, I think, 14 years old, and it comes to the present day, where she's now a lawyer, and I feel like she's in New York now, and she's a lawyer. And this isn't telling you any spoilers. Let me make sure it tells you, yeah. So, her boss ends up dying in his office. We're not sure if he was murdered or if it was suicide. And she's trying to figure out what happened and save herself because she doesn't want to get implicated because of their relationship. And that is all I'm going to say. Very good so far. Easy to start, like easy to get into. This is the debut author, or her book by this author. So I'm excited about this one. I don't know why the book theme for this month for the fiction that I'm reading seemed to be like this. So there's that. Then the other one, oh my goodness. The other one I got is an audio, and I don't think I put it, let me see if I can find it on here really quick, because I just realized I didn't. And I don't have my book journal with me to tell you. I will tell you the name here because I think I have it in Hoopla. So this one is, it's giving me all the feels. I'm so excited about this. One of my Instagram friends had talked about this a while back, this series, and I finally decided to read it. And I don't know why I waited so long, but it's called Broken Places by Tracy Clark. And I think she has 4 or 5 books. I think she's come out with a new one this season. And she is the gist of the first one is giving you kind of the background. She is a Chicago cop and, is on a case with her partner, and another officer arrives and aggravates the situation and elevates it into a situation that is not wanted. And she ends up resigning and becoming a private investigator. And so it's laying down the foundation of this series. So you're getting to know who the characters are. She also manages a building that she rents. I think she has 3 rentals in it, and that she inherited from her grandfather. So you get those character names. And I have been actually writing down the names of the characters because I'm assuming they're going to carry on into the other books, some of them, and also just so I can keep straight who's who, so I can kind of see if I can solve this case as well. So somebody near and dear to her ends up being murdered, and we're trying to figure that out. So it's so good. I'm listening to it in audio format, and I'm loving it. The narrator, her name is, Let's see if it will probably start playing it. Let's see if I can get it to open without doing that. Yeah, see, there it goes. Oh, Quacko's not showing me the name. I can't think of the name of the person that's doing it. And it's not going to let me because I have taken out. I'll let you know again in one of the other videos. But the narrator is so good in it, so I'm really, really enjoying it. I was listening to it while I was cooking the other night, and I know it's hooked me when I'm like trying to stay in the kitchen a few minutes more to keep listening to what's going to happen. So that one is making me super happy. Then, what? I don't even know when I put this library book on hold. I don't know. But when they come off hold, when they tell me it's available, I like, okay, I got to go get it. And in my mind, I'm like, no, because I don't have any time. But I did get it anyways, just in case. What happens? Maybe one of these books doesn't pan out or whatever. Or I'll just renew it or hold it hostage till I finish it, which I shouldn't say on tape, right? But this is the book. It's called The Teller of Secrets. It came out last year by Bisbee Ajapon. That's the cover of it. It's kind of funky. It came out in 2021, and I think I have a better description in here if I'm correct. But I just didn't know that I had it on hold, and so, you know, I've gotten really good with the E ones, you know, because I can just kind of push them off. But somehow I was like, oh no, I should keep this. It says that this is a coming-of-age story about a Nigerian Ghanaian girl in the late 1960s and discovering feminism. I think it got blurred by a couple of people too that, you know, I thought was interesting. It sounded very interesting because it sounds like it's very funny and witty as well as, you know, giving you a lot of information. Yeah, it's the other author, and I'm going to butcher the name, but it's Maza Mengiste. She's the author of The Shadow King, and that was shortlisted for the 2020 Booker Prize. She had commented and blurbed about this, but I'm curious. So what I think I'll do is, you know, this weekend maybe I'll even just peek and read a couple paragraphs and see if it's interesting to me, worth trying to keep it and hold it hostage till I finish it. I think that the author this is originated as short stories, and then she ended up turning it into a book. So I don't know how that will work either, but I'm definitely interested in seeing that. The other thing that I got, I think I told you guys I bought this on my Barnes & Noble haul, is Esops Fables. And I am not really counting this, I guess it's a January read. I'll count it the month I finish it. But what I have been doing is each night, I read one or two of them with my husband, and I'll read it to him, and then we'll read, you know, what the I don't know, the moral is. That they have a sentence at the end that's always like the moral of the story. But we've been really enjoying them at night, so I'm really enjoying that. So those are the things that I'm reading right now. The thing that I wanted to talk to you about is, so we got Black History Month coming up, and I definitely want to read. And the funny thing is, like, my bookshelf is bursting with all sorts of possibilities for Black History Month. However, I don't want it to be crazy and chaotic. So I have decided I'm only going to do two things. One is I'm going to read along with Read Soul Lit with Dee Dee from Brown Girl Reading. I do it every year. It has just become a standard. It's usually like I get sad at the end because, you know, we finish the book and she, you know, oftentimes surprises us with the author who will be in our discussion at the end of the book. But I get sad because I'm like, oh my God, I wait a whole nother year to read another book with her. I know she does have also, Dee Dee does also have a Patreon that you can join to read books with her. And I haven't joined it just simply because I'm just trying to get through what I have here. And I've just kind of felt it was sacred that I always know in February I'll be reading with her. But one day I will be dipping into that because I think that she is a really special talent in finding great books. I'm still talking about many of the books that we've read for Read Soul Lit. And the name of that book is Sky is, oh my gosh, Sky is Sun. Sun is Sky. It's 3 words and I can't remember it. It's something like that. I'm going to order it today because you can't, it's really hard to get it here. And all the resources I've tried, I even tried the library. She gave to, I think, Blackwell as a place to buy it from, or the Book Depository, I think. So I think the Book Depository was a later delivery, so I think I'll probably do the other one and see if I can get it here before February starts. But I'm going to read that book with her, and I can't remember what that one's about. I'll let you know next week, and hopefully that'll come in soon and I can show you the actual book. But I'll be doing that. But my special reading is going to be with my college friend. She and I have agreed to read. Hold on. The 1619 Project. I have been holding this for this month to read it. And I am very intimidated. But look, we have planned it out. She and I are going to break it down so that I'm going to start on Monday, on Martin Luther King Day, which I think is really good. I think to extend like History Month reading, I am starting earlier. So we are going to start on Monday, and every week I think we have to read roughly about 80 pages so that we can finish this by the end of February. So as you all know, I am a slow reader and things come up. So between this and the book with Dee Dee, I think that's all I'm going to do. And I'm not going to apologize because this is a big book and I also want to be able to process it. So if something else can get fit in there, it'll be a miracle. And I will let you know, but I am pretty sure that this is what's going to happen. But I also wanted you to see like these. I painted my nails. This is my 1619 Project nails. Looky look. Aren't they cool? They're the same colors as the book cover. So they won't last as long as it takes me to read the book, but they will be here for at least the beginning part of the process. I'm really excited about reading this. I've listened to her talk several times for the past year. And every time I take something else away from her talking. If you just Google Nicole Hannah Jones online, you'll find her talking and you just are mesmerized by her brilliance. What I liked in the last one I was listening to is she was saying that if you have read the actual original one, which I started and never finished, from the New York Times, this is different. There are they went in, they improved, they added more stuff. There's more that you could go into in a book. Once again, it is footnoted to the hill. So it's all research stuff. I think from here to the end is all footnotes. And so it's been well researched. And I think one of the things she talked about in the last one I was listening to was that history is something that, it kind of evolves in the sense that you continually to look at it and you continue to process and gain more information. And she's not apologizing that some of these are different from the original because they've had time to pull in more information in historians and historical artifacts and things to validate the content. So I'm really excited about reading it. I know it's going to be heavy, so I'm really hopeful that Dee Dee's book will also lift me while I'm reading this. And I'm hoping that 80 pages won't, bury me each week, that it will be still a joyful Black History Month. But I'll be very excited to complete this because this is one of the things that I do want to do. I haven't finished with my final, I have just a little bit more left on my last year's journal to finish before I can do the video. I've paused on, I've got all of the outline of what I want. I just have not set them up in the new book journal. And then I'd been seeing online a bunch of people doing like book cards, and they'd have their TBR card, that they would have all the books they want to read. And I actually own a lot of those in my office with office supplies and craft supplies and things like that. I never really thought of using it for books because I have many bookshelves. But so I jumped on the bandwagon. I told Dee Dee that I was inspired by hers because she always shows it on Instagram, and I'm always like, ooh, what's in there? What is she reading? And so I have bought one. It's over here. I'm not bringing it into the frame yet because I am still finalizing. I told her I can't finalize. I go by each day and I pluck a book out and I put another book in. My goal is the top and the bottom shelves will be the ones that I hope that I read this year. The middle shelf is only stuff for my planner. I'm not going to do 3 shelves because that's not going to happen. I can't read that many books anyway. And I just know that I want to be room for everything else because, you know, I'm kind of a mood reader and things come up. And that's also why I keep changing. So I am going to lock it in the next week because I'm going to go back through my shelves and look at things that I own that I really haven't read and want to read. I've put a lot of things that are new because I think that I know that I'm going to want to read them anyways and I won't want to wait. And I don't want to wait sometimes because I think that you lose that excitement too, you know, and I don't know if I'll read them as much as I would if I do it closer to when I purchase them. So I bought a lot of books lately, and so I want to put some of those in there. So it will be finalized, and I will do a video that will show you my cart. And then we can just, I think what I'll do is I'll bring it on, and as it gets smaller, we can all relish that I'm actually working towards a goal. And I will promise not to add anything else once we finalize it. That is going to be the chore, but I am going to do that. But how are you guys doing? Happy New Year. I hope everything is going well. I am excited for the new year of reading and everything else that comes with the new year. Very hopeful. Do you guys have a TBR cart? Do you have a TBR shelf? Do you have a TBR table? What are you reading this month? Do you think it's crazy that I'm even considering a TBR cart because you know how I change my mind? The other last thing I wanted to ask you guys too, just let me know in the comments. So I usually will put flags in my books and then I write my notes down, right? I'm thinking as I go into this, would it be bad? I don't know. These are kind of thin pages. I was thinking maybe, would it be blasphemy to highlight in the book? Like I could highlight and put my flags and then I could write some thoughts down about those highlighted things afterwards. I don't know. I want to keep, I want to make this enjoyable, but I also know that I'm going to, and that's just me, obsess over trying to know the information. I just realized I'm like so close to the screen. Sit back. So I don't know. If you were reading this, would you highlight? Would you, I won't even, if I don't highlight, maybe I could even just do pencils because it does, like I said, it's kind of thin paper. And I guess in the back of my mind, I can always say, I can always buy another book if it really kills me looking at it highlighted. I think that this is almost, it's like almost a reference. So if I wanted to go back in here, I want to be able to find it fast as opposed to having to go to my book journal or wherever I'm keeping the notes to find those notes attached to this. So it will be more efficient for me to just pick up the book and go into and say, okay, this is what it said and what have you. And then maybe I don't know. I'm torn. I haven't started yet. I'm starting Monday. So let me know before Monday what you guys think. And I'll let you know if I do, or, how it feels to get the first bit of ink in there. But that's my dilemma. That is my reading dilemma for this weekend. I hope you have a fantastic weekend. I'm looking forward to a long weekend with Martin Luther King Day, and I hope to have some progress on the books that I showed you guys. I will talk to you soon. Bye.